because of this like ridiculous lawsuit and you know, this whole thing, and everyone's like, it's just so funny to me because I have never a day in my life, may the Lord strike me down right here.
R. Kim Williamson, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram TV.
Like,
subscribe now.
Never. And the fact that every time I'm like in court or in the lawyer's office, like within a day, I'm like, where is this information coming from? It's like, I don't understand it. I do not understand it. So he loves that. Like, he loves it. He loves he loves it all. He needs all the accolades. He needs all the praise. He needs all of that. None of this has ever validated me. You know, and I mean, we are fundamentally different that way.
And so, there's all this stuff going on. The lawsuit, are you referring to the child, not the child, but the child support lawsuit? Okay, so there's reports that he's paying $8,000 a month.
Now he is, yeah.
So how hard was it so I was talking to the mother of Chris Brown's baby recently, and we were talking about, you know, the fact that she said, or she's alleged, Chris hasn't paid any money while she's having this kid. In terms of like his responsibility, taking care of his responsibility. And so when we were really getting into it and finding out how hard he's fighting with her to take care of the monetary responsibility he has for this child, I drew a parallel because I was looking at what reports are out there about you. So what is it that you can share about what's happening with the child?
I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. Like, I mean, we've been divorced for so long. For me, okay, first of all, to really get a clear picture, when this whole, you know, when I was, like I said, I was pregnant, I had Knight when I was in New York. Knight was born in July. So I was in New York, I'm from New York, my parents were there, you know, I was there for the summer. Come October, I was like, okay, like I want to go home. I'm going to take my baby home, and we're going to go back to LA and like, you know, start this life. I got home, and there was a foreclosure notice on my door. Now, if we were to look at the timeline, I went to culinary school in all of 2008. Then I got pregnant, so I hadn't worked, I hadn't done anything. And you know, the difference with Nas and I was, Nas has always been bigger, he's always sold more records, and that's fine, that was great. But it wasn't always, and I don't know if people realize it, but there's cash poor and there's cash rich, right? And it's like you might have less cash, but you actually have it. So like, I toured. I always toured. There was years where like me and Macy Gray were the only black artists in Europe. There were none other. Like it was me and her, we'd be like, hey girl, like, you know, just like so glad to see you. Like there were 0 black artists on tour, okay? So I would come home with cash. And so granted, yes, he's a bigger artist, he sold more records, that was fine. But I always had cash. So for all of our properties and stuff, I would always put the money down and then he would pay the mortgage. That was our agreement. So after all this time, I was in culinary school, so I wasn't touring, which was 5 days a week, 7 hours a day. I wasn't prepared for any of this, you know, and it didn't even occur to me that he would stop paying, or that he had stopped paying the mortgage, because I had been in New York well before even I had the baby, so I wanted to be near my mom and all that stuff. So when I got home and saw that foreclosure notice on...
So you didn't even know?
I had no idea, and he didn't give a damn.
And you were pregnant?
I came home with let's see, it was October, so I had
So you just had the baby?
Yeah, like 2-3-month-old baby.
And so you didn't even know that the house was foreclosed on?
No, I had no idea. And, you know, I called him, and I'm like, yo, there's a foreclosure notice on our door, like, what's up? And his response, which has been very consistent ever since then, was, go fuck yourself.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, did he say the words, go fuck yourself?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, very much so. And it's happened many times since then. So for me, that,
She told him about Nas.
A few months old. That started a whole, like, that then continued on. So I was a single mom. I was terrified. I had never done this before. This was not my plan. Him and I had been together for years. So I was pissed off that, like, nigga, you waited all this time for me to get pregnant to act. I can't take it. Like, this is too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got together when I was 22. By the time I had Knight at 29. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a long time.
A long time, yeah.
So we waited. Like, you know what I mean? So I just was like, you are acting a fool. not a good time. And I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing right now. I haven't worked. I don't have any money because it was in our house. And this is terrifying. Like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. So I had to put out flush tone. And I ended up, you'll see that, those little feet on my back. That was literally like, I was in the worst time of my life. I was devastated. It was hard. And I had to like pull it together because it was me and this baby. And there was no, like, that's why and I went back there to even just to point to the fact that like, I needed help. I wanted help. I asked for help. There was no help. So when you dip in and you want to come around, that's fine. But you haven't been a parent and you haven't been around for a very long time. So to show up now, yes, I'm angry. And, he makes it like a mocking me, like, oh, you're so mad. Yeah, I am. And I didn't want people to know that I was mad because as soon as you're an angry black woman, then you're an angry black woman and then that's forever. But you know what? I am black and I am furious. And I am not sorry. I'm not sorry for that because I